avocational interest in archaeology is that
in this discussion, we dive into a conversation between Joe Rogan and Stephen Meyer, exploring the intricate dialogue on the Christian faith with non-believers. He delves into effective communication strategies, blending humility with expertise and emphasizing the importance of objective evidence. Join us as we uncover how Meyer navigates historical testimonies, archaeological discoveries, and philosophical reasoning to present a compelling case for the Christian faith in a way that resonates with skeptics and believers alike. In a conversation between Joe Rogan and Stephen Meyer, the focus shifted towards reconciling faith with historical evidence, particularly regarding the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Meyer, drawing from his background in the philosophy of science and historical research, articulated a compelling approach to engaging non-believers in discussions about Christianity. Central to Meyer's argument was the emphasis on employing an evidentalist framework, advocating for the use of objective sources and archaeological findings to substantiate biblical narratives. He underscored significant archaeological discoveries, such as inscriptions from Pontius Pilate found in Caesarea Maritima, which independently corroborate the existence of key figures mentioned in the New Testament. Meyer highlighted that these findings not only validate historical contexts, but also provide a tangible basis for discussing pivotal events like the trial of Jesus. Moreover, Meyer addressed the resurrection of Jesus as a critical historical event, supported by multiple lines of historical testimony analyzed by scholars like Wolfhard Pannenberg and William Lane Craig. He pointed to figures like James, Jesus' skeptical brother turned leader in the early Christian church, whose transformation and subsequent martyrdom underscored the authenticity of early Christian beliefs. Meyer's approach, rooted in rigorous historical analysis and critical inquiry, serves as a bridge between faith-based perspectives and secular skepticism, fostering deeper understanding and dialogue on the foundations of Christian faith.
Answer kind of had a very funny thing that he said about science. He said, science wants you to believe that it's all about measurement and reason if you allow them one miracle. That one miracle is the Big Bang.
yes,
That all things come from the most preposterous idea ever.
Yeah.
That everything came from nothing in one big miracle.
With a nod to these tangible artifacts, Meyer paints a vivid picture of historical contexts that anchor biblical narratives in the sands of time. He isn't merely recounting tales of yore, he's unveiling a tableau of characters: Pontius Pilate, the enigmatic Roman governor, and Caiaphas, the high priest embroiled in the trial of Jesus, whose existence is etched in stone, quite literally. Meyer's approach isn't all serious business. He sprinkles his discourse with a pinch of humor, likening his excavation of historical truths to a treasure hunt for skeptics. He jets about donning a fedora and cracking a whip in pursuit of archaeological gems that shed light on ancient mysteries. His wit serves not only to entertain, but also to disarm skeptics, inviting them to join in the intellectual adventure of unraveling centuries-old enigmas. In the midst of this scholarly expedition, Meyer encourages skeptics to peer through the lens of objective evidence, like a pair of binoculars focused on distant horizons. These archaeological finds aren't mere curiosities. They are signposts that guide us through the labyrinthine complexities of ancient history, offering tangible support for the narratives woven into the fabric of religious belief.
Seems to me a logical possibility. Maybe the origin of the universe was further back, but you're still getting this picture of a collapsing sphere in the reverse direction of time back.
As Meyer unravels these tales of stone and inscription, he transforms dusty tomes of history into riveting sagas that captivate both heart and mind. His blend of humor and erudition transforms the scholarly pursuit of truth into a lively journey where skeptics and believers alike can engage in spirited dialogue amidst the ruins of ancient civilizations.
Well, I think the traditional theistic answer to that is the free will defense. It's not that God created those things, he created free agents, knowing that it was better to create free agents who had the ability to choose, and therefore to choose to love him or not, or love.
Stephen Meyer's emphasis on historical corroboration of biblical narratives isn't just about validating ancient texts, it's about infusing the study of history with a sense of adventure and discovery. By unearthing tangible artifacts and weaving them into compelling narratives, Meyer invites skeptics to explore the rich tapestry of biblical history with curiosity and intellectual rigor. His scholarly sleuthing isn't just a quest for answers, it's a quest for understanding, where the artifacts of the past become windows into the timeless truths of faith and reason. A refreshing perspective to the age-old dialogue about faith and reason as seen in his conversation with Joe Rogan. Meyer's approach can be likened to wielding a sturdy Swiss army knife in the jungles of skepticism, a tool that combines the precision of evidentialism with the robustness of historical inquiry.
A lot of media reports suggesting that the findings of the James Webb Telescope have undermined the case for the Big Bang, or the Big Bang Theory. But there's an interesting backstory on this. Most of these media reports were based on the writings of a single physics researcher named Eric Lerner, who's been, since 1990, kind of carrying a torch to refute the Big Bang. And Lerner, in one of his articles, quoted a University of Kansas astrophysicist saying that she stays up late at night wondering if, based on the James Webb, that everything that we know is.
Imagine Meyer as your philosophical tour guide, navigating through the labyrinth of religious discourse, armed not with blind conviction, but with a meticulously crafted map of objective sources and archaeological findings. He champions the use of these scholarly treasures to anchor discussions firmly in verifiable reality, steering clear of the treacherous waters of personal belief and subjective anecdotes. In Meyer's view, the quest for truth in matters of faith requires more than just dedication to following the evidence, wherever it may lead. He emphasizes this by citing concrete examples from archaeological digs, such as the discovery of Pontius Pilate's inscription in Caesarea Maritima. This monumental find not only validates the historical existence of Pilate, but also lends tangible support to the narratives chronicled in the New Testament. Meyer's approach transcends mere archaeological exploration. He navigates the intricate terrain of history with the finesse of a scholarly Indiana Jones, wielding critical thinking and reason like precision tools. His method invites skeptics to don their proverbial deer talkers and embark on a forensic investigation of historical texts and external sources. By steering clear of subjective experiences and personal biases, Meyer establishes a foundation where reason and evidence hold sway, guiding the discourse with intellectual integrity. To deftly balance the weighty discussions on faith and evidence, far from dry or overly academic, his discourse resembles a lively tango between scholarly rigor and accessible storytelling. This blend not only captivates the audience but also invites them to delve deeper into the complexities of faith and history with renewed curiosity and engagement. In Meyer's hands, the exploration of ancient artifacts becomes more than a quest for relics. It transforms into a dynamic dialogue where the past meets the present in a quest for understanding. His skillful navigation through historical landscapes not only illuminates the narratives of faith, but also encourages a robust exchange of ideas that challenge assumptions and provoke thought. Thus, Meyer's approach resonates beyond scholarly circles, inviting all to participate in the pursuit of truth with an open mind and a readiness to explore the rich tapestry of history and belief. His mastery of critical thinking and his ability to blend humor with intellectual rigor make him not just a scholar, but a maestro of discourse, guiding us through the complexities of faith and reason with clarity and conviction. Stephen Meyer's advocacy for an evidentialist and philosophical approach in discussing faith with skeptics isn't just about presenting arguments. It's about crafting a compelling narrative rooted in objective truth and historical inquiry. By wielding the tools of reason and evidence with a touch of humor, Meyer invites skeptics and believers alike to embark on a journey of discovery, a journey where faith meets reason and where ancient texts and archaeological finds converge to illuminate the path forward. This approach not only challenges skeptics to reconsider their preconceptions, but also empowers believers to articulate their faith with clarity and conviction. In the end, Meyer's philosophical Swiss Army knife isn't just a tool, it's a beacon of light in the quest for understanding, guiding us through the dense jungles of skepticism with wit, wisdom, and a steadfast commitment to truth. Stephen Meyer, like a scholarly detective in pursuit of truth, presents a compelling case for the resurrection of Jesus Christ in his dialogue with Joe Rogan. With the finesse of a seasoned investigator, Meyer highlights the scholarly endeavors of Wolfhard Pannenberg, William Lane Craig, N.T. Wright, and Gary Habermas, who meticulously dissect historical texts and extra-biblical sources to affirm the resurrection as a genuine historical event. In the courtroom of historical analysis, Meyer doesn't rely on faith alone, but marshals a legion of evidence like exhibits in a gripping trial. His scholarly approach isn't dry and dusty, but animated by wit and intellectual rigor, inviting skeptics to join in the quest for truth. He playfully compares the apostles to the original investigative journalists, gathering eyewitnesses' accounts and compiling their findings and narratives that resonate through the ages. Ultimately, Meyer's discussion on the resurrection isn't just about affirming religious belief, it's about engaging skeptics in a spirited debate that spans centuries. By blending humor with scholarly rigor, he transforms theological discourse into a captivating narrative where the stakes are nothing less than the meaning of faith itself. Delving deeper into the case of James, Jesus' once skeptical brother turned ardent believer, Meyer illuminates a historical journey that reads like an ancient soap opera, complete with sibling rivalry, personal transformation, and ultimate sacrifice. He paints James not merely as a figure of faith, but as a historical puzzle piece whose trajectory challenges skeptics to reconsider their assumptions. Adding weight to his argument, Meyer points to external sources like Josephus, the ancient historian whose ink-stained scrolls provide corroborating details of James's pivotal role and eventual martyrdom. He quips that Josephus wasn't just a chronicler of events, he was the TMZ of ancient Judea, delivering historical scoops that even today's tabloids would envy. Imagine Meyer armed with a whiteboard and a PowerPoint presentation, ready to engage skeptics like a professor on a mission to enlighten the world's most stubborn students. He humorously likens skeptics to cats, curious, independent thinkers who won't be swayed by mere anecdotes or wishful thinking. Instead, he dangles the proverbial ball of historical evidence and scholarly research, inviting them to bat it around with critical inquiry and intellectual rigor. Meyer's approach isn't about converting skeptics into believers overnight. It's about inviting them on a journey of discovery where ancient texts and archaeological findings become the map to navigating centuries-old debates. He playfully suggests that engaging skeptics is like coaxing a cat out from under the bed. You can't force it, but you can entice it with treats of objective evidence and reasoned argumentation. In Meyer's scholarly circus, engaging skeptics isn't just about winning arguments, but fostering meaningful dialogue that respects differing viewpoints while challenging assumptions. His blend of humor and intellectual rigor invites skeptics to join the debate, not as adversaries, but as fellow explorers in the quest for truth and understanding. Stephen Meyer's exploration spans the realms of history, faith, and scholarly inquiry, weaving together a narrative that challenges both skeptics and believers to delve deeper into the profound implications of ancient events. Through his engaging dialogue on the resurrection of Jesus Christ and James's journey from skepticism to conviction, Meyer invites us on an intellectual adventure filled with humor, critical thinking, and a quest for truth. His approach isn't confined to dry theological arguments or dusty manuscripts, but embraces the human drama and enduring power of historical testimony. By grounding discussions in objective evidence and bridging gaps with mutual respect, Meyer builds bridges of understanding that invite skeptics and believers alike to explore the rich tapestry of faith and reason. If you made it all the way to this part in the video, you may qualify for our membership, so you might want to listen closely.